Jonas Vingegaard has truly had a meteoric rise in the world of cycling since joining Jumbo-Visma back in 2019 on the back of his incredible Col de Retz KOM he took with his team Colo Quick. He's demonstrated his incredible climbing aptitude, determination and even sportsmanship in his very short career at the top, as well as winning countless stage races and most notably winning the Tour de France 2 years in a row, and all this has amounted to the true champion that he has become. In today's video, we'll take a deeper look at his performances and question whether the Danish superstar will end up being one of the greats of the sport, if not the greatest.
Sorry to interrupt the video. Before we hear more about Jonas Vingegaard, just a word from our sponsor NordVPN. NordVPN is a very powerful tool. A VPN is a virtual private network which encrypts your internet connection, and that means you're essentially given a layer of security you wouldn't have otherwise. And the way I use it is, if I'm in a cafe and you're using the Wi-Fi, you want to make sure that your personal data is safely secured. And on the second hand, if you're abroad and want to access websites that you can't normally do because of geo restrictions, VPN can allow you to circumvent this and you can access it whilst being abroad, and I use that quite a lot as well. So as I said, NordVPN are sponsoring this video and are giving everyone who clicks the link down below 4 months off a 2-year plan, and in the link below it is /thecyclingdane, so please use that. But anyways, back to the video.
In 2023, Jonas Vingegaard had another remarkable season, winning Au Grand Camino early on overall. And then he went on to have a showdown with Tadej Pogačar in Paris-Nice, where he became the first Danish rider to finish on the podium before he headed to the Tour of the Basque Country, winning the overall classification in formidable style, picking up stage victories along the way before he headed to the Criterium du Dauphiné for a pre-Tour de France test. And here he absolutely dominated the competition once again and won by one of the most winning margins we've seen in many years. On top of that, his feat of winning the Basque Country and the Criterium du Dauphiné has never been done by any rider before in history, so a notable achievement. At the Tour de France, Jonas Vingegaard looked hesitant in the beginning of Tadej Pogačar despite capitalizing early on, but Tadej Pogačar hit him back the very next stage and took the stage win. However, Jonas Vingegaard had the yellow jersey in his clutches and he really sealed the Tour de France win when he dominated on stage 16 in an incredible display of his time trialing prowess. And later on, Tadej Pogačar cracked on the Col de la Loze, where Jonas Vingegaard capitalized on this moment and really hammered home that advantage he had, and thereby Jonas Vingegaard went on to win a historic second title, the most any Danish rider has done. Speaking of Tadej Pogačar, obviously he's a big part of his career already. They've had plenty of battles between them already at 3 Tour de France's and countless other stage races as well. Vingegaard, despite his background as a Dane, has adapted well in the Alpine climbs, and early on he showed an incredible VO2 max score with 97 in total, which was not far off the record held by Oscar Svensson. However, there are speculations that Jonas Vingegaard now has an absolutely insane VO2 max score of around 112, so this would put him off the charts and the highest ever VO2 max recorded in history, and would also explain the incredible climbing prowess he has showed in the last few years and why he's finished 4 out of the last 5 Grand Tours he's taken part of on the podium. As a result of finishing on the podium in the Vuelta a España and the Tour de France, he has climbed a number of the mythical climbs in the sport of cycling. His first victory came outside of the Grand Tour on a HC climb, and this was the Jabal Hayes win in the UAE Tour in 2021, where he managed to dash away from the favorites group and take the win, where Tadej Pogačar was also part of that favorites group. But in terms of Grand Tour climbs, the first iconic climb that we really saw him on was the Mont Ventoux in 2021. He showed himself and he was able to drop Tadej Pogačar for a moment and really was signs of what was to come. In 2022 on stage 11, this was the breaking point for Tadej Pogačar, who was in the yellow jersey, on the Col de Granon after Jumbo-Visma had savagely been attacking the the Slovenian star. And eventually the elastic snapped and Jonas Vingegaard soared away and took the yellow jersey, which was absolutely incredible. The following day, the iconic pair went head-to-head once again on the mythical Alpe d'Huez, a climb steeped in cycling heritage. On the day, it was Tom Pidcock who stole the show, becoming the youngest ever winner on the Alpe d'Huez. But behind the stage winner, Tadej Pogačar and Jonas Vingegaard marked each other, but distanced everyone else in the process, and this was truly a sight to behold. The time for the pair up the climb was the fastest time since 2006 at 39 minutes and 8 seconds. However, it was a fair bit slower than Marco Pantani with a record of 36 minutes and 40 seconds, but it still showed the absolute generational talents that both these climbers are. Next, we move on to the Haute-Carme, and that was one of the final big tests of that year's Tour de France, where Wout van Aert dropped back from the breakaway, assisted to drop Tadej Pogačar, and Jonas Vingegaard went on to win in an incredible fashion once again. Vingegaard's time up the climb was 36 minutes and 35 seconds, which was almost 2 minutes slower than the record holder Bjarne Riis, but we all know the asterisk that is there. But notably, Vingegaard's time was 1 minute faster than the imperious Nibali in his 2014 Tour de France triumph, and Tadej Pogačar on the day was of course almost a minute behind the Dane. In 2023 at the Tour de France, Jonas Vingegaard was able to capitalize on the implosion of Tadej Pogačar on the slopes of the Col de la Loze, and Vingegaard was of course paced up by his teammate before his teammate finished, and here Vingegaard managed to record the fastest time so far at the Col de la Loze, almost 1 minute faster than Felix Gall at 1 minute and 10 seconds. Switching our focus to the Vuelta a España, obviously he's had a history with the Angliru where he worked for Primož Roglič in 2020. In 2023, we saw him and Roglič pace together up the climb, distancing their teammate Sepp Kuss, and they managed to do this in 42 minutes and 27 seconds, which was only 32 seconds slower than the record holder of Roberto Herrera, so that was quite incredible to say the least. And maybe Jonas Vingegaard had a bit more left as he was following Primož Roglic's wheel, and it looked like there was a bit more if he really wanted to, so that record could have been challenged a bit more. But nevertheless, the Col de Tourmalet was tackled twice by Jonas Vingegaard in 2023. First in the Tour de France from one direction where Tadej Pogačar and Jonas Vingegaard managed to break the record with 45 minutes and 35 seconds. But the more iconic side where we saw Andy Schleck and Contador, including Thibaut Pinot, win up, was also tackled at the Vuelta a España. And here Jonas Vingegaard attacked with 7 kilometers to go, and they did the 1-2-3 iconic finish from the Jumbo-Visma guys. Here his time was 50 minutes and 54 seconds, 1 minute and 16 seconds quicker than that of Thibaut Pinot back in 2019, so quite a remarkable feat to say the least. Beyond the physical prowess, obviously, of Vingegaard, he also has a mental fortitude that sets him a bit apart. He had bad luck in the 2022 Tour de France, but still managed to keep on going, and particularly in the cobblestone stage, and he also crashed throughout, and the tensions within the team of multiple objectives as well. But he stayed calm and collected, making calculated decisions under the immense pressure that faces a Tour de France champion. And obviously as well, he has shown his remarkable tactical nous for racing. He's been very brilliant on many occasions. He showed his patience in the 2023 Tour, knowing that he had the golden bullet, but made sure that he just kept Pogačar under control and then got him in the last week. Equally as well, what happened on Col de Granon was an amazing tactical feat to break down Tadej Pogačar. On top of that, we have also seen him as a remarkable sportsman, as in the 2022 Tour de France as well. Jonas Vingegaard slowed down to allow Tadej Pogačar to catch up after he had crashed on a fast descent, and the iconic handshake now. I mean, that aside, 2 Tour de France victories under his belt, winning countless one-week stage races already, and only at the age of 26. But is he truly comparable to the greats of the sport already in his career? Can he be mentioned in the same breath as Bernard Hinault, Greg LeMond, or even the GOAT himself, Eddie Merckx. Obviously, Jonas Vingegaard has a gaping hole in his palmares, and that is the one-day races, particularly the monuments. He has not had any success there, and he would also need to complete the trilogy of Grand Tour victories by going to the Giro and winning the Vuelta as well. As a comparison, at 26, Eno had already won 2 Tour de France titles as well, and Eddie Merckx had 3 wins to his name. So I would say eras are not comparable, obviously, as cycling really evolves. However, it certainly is a very good indicator for Jonas Vingegaard that he already has 2 Tour de France's under his name. He has the climbing ability, he has the team behind him, and he has the time trialing pedigree as well on his day. And even now in 2023, he showed that he is capable of podium 2 Grand Tours in one season. So this really is exceptional. So will he win 5 Tour de France's or even 3 Tour de France's? Tadej Pogačar is the big question mark as well. He himself is in the conversation for the greatest ever cyclist as well. Younger and more achievements to his name already, but these two have a fierce rivalry that will be interesting to see. But as far as it goes for Jonas Vingegaard, that climbing prowess on the Alpine climbs and the resilience he's showed, and really could become a true cycling legend if he carries on this trajectory. But that's basically it for this video. Make sure to comment down below what you think of Jonas Vingegaard. He's really shown a different level in 2023 compared to 2022, I think, and really risen to the occasion now. But that's just what I think. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you around.